Welcome to my views and news, another video. Firstly, demonstrations in Ethiopia and outside Ethiopia. Big rallies are being planned on Saturday in Addis Ababa, in other parts of Ethiopia, and some protests were held in the US and in Belgium by Tigrayans and other groups which are pro-Ethiopian government. Secondly, Shire, Ethiopian federal government is stepping up its efforts to restore basic services in Shire. Tigray has been calling for restoration of basic services for months. Government did not, federal government did not show any interest in the restoration of basic services in Tigray. But in Shire, things are changing fast. And lastly, Mekelle, Eritrean government officials, ambassadors today openly backed the idea that ENDF must enter Mekelle. While efforts are underway in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia for a ceasefire. Diplomats, members of parliament, officials from Western countries are in Addis Ababa and they are in talks to ensure that the parties agree on a ceasefire. Firstly, viewers, on Saturday, a major demonstration is going to be held in Ethiopia. Main protest will be held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, at Mekelle Square. Today, announcement was made by some professional bodies, civil society organizations, and political parties in Addis Ababa. And Ethiopian state media covered the press conference held about the protest to be held on Saturday. So government is backing this demonstration. Not only in Addis Ababa, but in other parts of Ethiopia as well. On Saturday, massive rallies are expected. The rallies will condemn alleged foreign intervention in Ethiopian internal matters. Basically, it's rebirth of no more. But this time, no more slogan is not being used by the protesters. Slogan is that we will fight for Ethiopia, will speak out for Ethiopia. And the rally is definitely against TPLF as well. So the rally is backing Ethiopian federal government's moves about the ongoing operation against TPLF, that it should continue. It's not rally for peace. It's rally for war, you can say. Rally for backing Ethiopian government's decision to continue the operation in Tigray. So rally for war, you can say, is going to be held in Addis Ababa, in other parts of Ethiopia on Saturday. Outside Ethiopia, some protests have been held in Washington, D.C. A Tigrayan diaspora community protested in front of U.S. State Department, urging the State Department to take action. The protesters said that genocide of Tigrayans was being committed. The international community was silent. It should take action. Secondly, pro-Ethiopian government groups protested in Belgium, Brussels a few hours ago. Target of the protest was EU, because EU has been criticizing Ethiopian federal government, Eritrean government for their involvement in the third round of fighting. And EU has been demanding the withdrawal of Eritrean military as well from Tigray. EU has not restored withheld financial aid for Ethiopia. That is why in this demonstration, people were carrying pictures of EU's Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell, who is very vocal and who has been saying that EU did not do enough to stop the war. He has been proposing sanctions on the Ethiopian government. And a few days ago, he passed some controversial remarks. He said that Europe was a garden and rest of the world was a jungle. And he came under attack, and then later he apologized. One of the protesters was holding a picture of Joseph Borrell, EU's foreign policy chief, with writing, "Please stay in your garden. We can help our jungle." So the protest was basically against EU, against Joseph Borrell, that EU was supportive of TPLF, that EU was interfering in Ethiopian internal matters. Watch a clip showing a demonstration which was held in front of US State Department in Washington, D.C.
End the Tigray genocide! End the Tigray genocide! Sanction Ethiopia!
Secondly, viewers, Tigray regional government has been calling for restoration of basic services in Tigray for months. But Ethiopian federal government kept on delaying the resumption of banking service, telecom service, electricity as well in all parts of Tigray which were under TDF control, under TPLF control. But things are changing fast in Shire, which came under ENDF, EDF control less than a week ago. Reportedly, from next week, Commercial Bank of Ethiopia is going to start operations in Shire. Secondly, Shire Airport is going to be made operational from next week too. And thirdly, federal regional forces are trying to open Shire Mesamre road, though the road could not be completely opened. Eritrean soil could be used as well for speedy delivery of aid to the people of Shire and neighboring areas. So government is now going to restore basic services in Shire to send a message to the people of Shire, to the people of Tigray, that government is with them, that government is their well-wisher. Let's see what will happen after the restoration of the services in Shire. If government provides food to the people of Shire, if government restores electricity, banking, services in Shire, we could see movement of Tigrayans from other parts of Tigray to Shire. It can happen because people are suffering in parts of Tigray. Thirdly, viewers, Mekelle, Eritrean diplomats are openly saying that ENDF should enter Mekelle. Sophia Tesfamariam is Eritrean envoy at the UN. And in a message today, she said that US and other Western powers were trying to stop ENDF from entering Mekelle. What is hidden behind closed doors in Mekelle? No electricity, no banking, no internet, no medicine. Why is that ENDF is being stopped from entering Mekelle? So Eritrea is saying that ENDF should enter Mekelle. If Eritrean military is not involved in this war, then why do these Eritrean ambassadors keep on speaking about the war in Ethiopia? Now they are saying that the Ethiopian military should enter Mekelle. They are diplomats, and Ambassador Bijine as well today spoke. Both Bijine, Sophia Tesfamariam, both have been very vocal. On daily basis, they share tweets. Each and every development related to Tigray conflict, Tigray war is being shared, is being talked about by these Eritrean ambassadors. So that is why we say that Eritrean diplomats, Eritrean government, Eritrean military, all are involved in this third round of war. Diplomatically, politically, in terms of providing logistics, their military, they are part of this war. And we know that Harmila was seen with Sofet Asfamarium 2 days ago, because maybe there could be need of a new noble movement, not only in Ethiopia but abroad as well, because pressure could increase. It could mount on Ethiopian government to end the war. But government wants to continue the operation in Tigray. And that is what is being proposed by Sofet Asfamarium as well, by Eritrea. It means that if EU, US are unable to convince Ethiopian government to stop the war, they could talk of punitive measures as well. That is why some meetings were held between Ethiopian and Eritrean diaspora community members, officials. Maybe some plans are being made how to form joint strategies to counter Western US pressure. Lastly, viewers, Western officials, diplomats are in Addis Ababa in talks with Ethiopian government officials to urge the government to agree to a ceasefire. Mike Hammer is in Addis Ababa. Vicky Ford, an MP from UK, is also in Ethiopia. She has held meetings with Mekelle, Deputy Prime Minister. She was seen with President Saleh as well, and she is saying that she is here for ceasefire. She is here to help drought victims, drought affectees, and she is here to ensure that resumption of humanitarian aid to Tigray is agreed by the parties to the conflict. Coming hours crucial, because in coming hours UN Security Council is due to meet on Ethiopia. The meeting was requested by some African countries, Kenya, Ghana, Gabon. Let's see what happens there. Will UN Security Council call for immediate cessation of hostilities? And then on Monday, we know that talks are due to be held, hosted by African Union in South Africa. So far, no statement from Tigray government. Is it going to be part of talks or not? What about Euro Kenyatta? Reportedly, he has received the invitation from African Union. Will he be there in South Africa? Let's see. In coming hours, things will be clear about talks in South Africa. We'll update you tomorrow about UN Security Council meeting due to be held on Ethiopia. Thank you.
I'm here in Ethiopia, where I am so concerned about two issues: the fighting in the north and the drought. The escalation of fighting in recent weeks has been really desperate. It's affecting millions of people. And of course, there's been the death of another humanitarian worker. So in my meetings, I'm going to press for peace, for an end to the fighting, for the peace talks to start, for civilian and aid workers to be protected, and for that humanitarian aid to get to the people who desperately need it. And then